You're listening to the New World to Go podcast with your hosts, Redbyrd and BDLG.
Hello and welcome to another episode of New World to Go. I'm your host, Redbyrd, and with me is BDLG. Bordy, it's a pleasure to be with you tonight on this fine evening.
Yes. Glad to be here, man.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of a slow news week, so this might be a shorter episode than you guys are used to. I'm just going to cover what we have, which is some interesting stuff. I think we'll have a good discussion here. We're kind of lore nerds, so we'll get to talk a little bit about the ancients, which is one of our favorite topics as New World's lore goes. And also, we got some cool looking real life armor that's being put together during the Primeval Armor series. So, Bordy, real quick, if you guys are listening to this on Apple or Spotify or whatever, please leave us a 5-star rating. You guys have been killing it. We've gotten a lot of new ones. We appreciate it. You guys, very grateful for your guys' participation in this and continue to hopefully rate us for 5 stars. It really helps us out as a podcast get found during the directory. Also, obviously it helps as far as on Apple moving us up towards the top, and we appreciate it, boys. Thank you, boys and girls. Thank you so much for the ratings. Also, go check out our YouTube channel. We've been putting up videos there 5 days a week on New World for quite a while now. So if you haven't subbed to that already, you can go over there and hit that sub button too. We appreciate that. And last but not least, New World fans, we are continuing to pump out tons of stuff over there. We have a lot of exciting stuff on the horizon. Obviously, Taken is working away nonstop until launch. So we appreciate your guys' patronage over there. Already got a ton of people over there, and especially our Patreon. We're very grateful for you guys as well. And that does it for the opening. Let's hop right in here, Bordy, for the Primeval Armor Set. Now, neither one of us, I believe, are our peers, unless, Bordy, you sneak around and do it behind my back. But dude, my only, and this is, I'll be real honest with you, the only experience I ever have doing RPing, I remember I was a young man, and I went to the local Renaissance Festival, and they had an RP forest, Bordy, where you take a sword and you go in there and you have combat. And you know what happened? I got one of the rental swords, which is very short. It's a very short sword, and within 5 seconds of walking into the forest, I got backstabbed twice, and then I got hit with a broadsword in the head, and I quit. That was my first and last attempt at RPing. I died within seconds, Bordy. So I'm not sure. Maybe if I had this armor on, dude, I would have lived through the combat.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. It doesn't sound like your combat prowess is very good, man. You got to be aware of your surroundings, brother. You can't just walk in there.
Well, I was level 1, Bordy. I was level 1, and these guys were clearly like level 50, and I got wrecked by them. They definitely told me to leave the forest. I was dead, and I had to come back in. I just chose not to come back at all. But that's, I guess, neither here nor there. So here we go. We got this dope-looking ancient... or not ancient, Susie, Angry Earth armor set, and dude, I don't know if you guys have watched the video, have looked at the pictures on Twitter, but this is extremely impressive, Bordy. This set looks amazing. These people, they've installed LEDs in it. A bunch of, obviously, effort and time went into this set, dude, and it looks sick.
Yeah, it does. It looks really cool, man. So they apparently just tweeted out, they just tweeted out the sneak peek of an incredible cosplay of the Angry Earth Primeval Armor Set. And it's getting built by a prop and costume designer, Wexy Lex, apparently on Twitter. And it looks really, really cool, man. She's doing a great job on it. And I think she does a lot of costumes and props and whatever. So if you're into that kind of thing, you might want to go follow her on Twitter. It's really cool. Yeah. And so far, it looks incredible. I'm enjoying watching it. I don't get into cosplay very much myself or the RP scene very much myself, but I do have a deep appreciation for these people that do this stuff, man. It takes a talent to do it, and it looks really, really good. The armor looks dope, dude.
Yeah, and it's cool to see, in-game items like this come to life, in this way. And obviously, she spends a ton of time on these, and it shows because it looks amazing. So shout out to her, of course. And again, one more time, You know, you can go check her out at Lex Wexy. We can include her Twitter account in the show notes for you guys who are interested. Also, she's being featured on the New World Twitter account. So if you can just go over there and look, and then be sure to throw her a follow as well. Because this stuff is sick, for real.
Yeah, you keep writing me off whenever I say this, man. But I don't know why they, and I don't appreciate it, by the way, Ren. I don't know why they are tweeting that. Like, is there something more to this, to her building this armor set than meets the eye? That's what I want to know, man. Like, it was just this random tweet that they said they have started showcasing this armor set, but then whenever you go over to her Twitter and you start snooping around over there, it says that she's like in collaboration working with New World. It's not like it's not like she just started making it and they retweeted it. This looks like something more official. So in my mind, it's like, dude, do they have plans to use this at some sort of like reveal party or some sort of like con? Maybe are we going to have like a New World convention at some point? I don't know, man.
It would be strange to have it right after the game launches, but
it would be. But you know what I mean? Some sort of
big
could be a
release event. I pray that it is, Bordy, because that means the game
reveal party. But
yeah. I hope that it is for something like that. Maybe Scott Lane himself. He's basically a druid already with his hair and beard. So, dude, I think why not have Angry Earth? Scott Lane at this point, right?
Yeah, it's
what we need,
maybe.
And there's no doubt.
Wouldn't
that
be something if that's what this was for? If this costume was for Scott and he,
I would. That would be the best.
The next video we see, man, he's gonna be dressed in this Primeval Armor Set.
All the delays would be worth it at that. If they only delayed the game so Scott Lane could get some real life Angry Earth armor, then I'm down for that for sure, because I want to see it. But yeah. Again, guys, go check out the pictures, and we did show the video. It's sick. It is really, really well done, and she deserves all the attention and praise that she's getting from this. And like Bordy said, it could be something official, which would be also sick. Maybe a giveaway, dude. Maybe you could get the real life angry. That's not gonna happen, but. She worked way too hard on this to give this away. She's got to use it, and then maybe the first con, dude, we'll get to see it in action, like you said.
Maybe
that'll be sick. All right, guys. Well, we got another lore episode, and this is again not touring Aeternum. This is Tales of Aeternum. This is the Ancients, Bordy. Now, the Ancients, we have a lore series every Friday on our YouTube channel. We go through some of the lore pages and read them and try to tie them together as a whole into, the lore that is, New World and Aeternum. And Bordy, the Ancients is definitely our favorite topic, I think, between the two of us. It's one of the most interesting, I think, family, family of mobs in the game because of their historic significance to Aeternum. And just their mystery, I think. So let's hop right in here with the Tales of Aeternum, the Ancients. So now they mentioned in the video, this is our first talking point, that these are potentially the first inhabitants of Aeternum. Now we've been diving into the ancient lore, like I said. So dude, this pretty much holds up. We as we've read through a lot of the lore pages, it does seem like the Ancients were a big part, or at least the initial finders of Aeternum.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that the video kind of hinted to that, or kind of answered that, I guess, too, that they are the first inhabitants of Aeternum, which I don't know though, because then whenever you go back and you reference the other video that was about the Angry Earth, they talk about people referencing the Angry Earth as the very beginning inhabitants of Aeternum, and then they were kind of awoken at some point. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it were I'm still confused. I don't know if it was the Ancients or the Angry Earth that were the first inhabitants of Aeternum. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, well, from what I understand, the Angry Earth is Aeternum. Like, it is the response of Aeternum to the corruption and all the people coming, and then where the Ancients are dude, it really, really seems like it's an Egyptian type of society or people that found Aeternum initially. And this is why I think, and we teased about it last episode when we were talking about the leaks and brimstone sands and all that. But I think we're getting pyramids over there, dude. I think we're getting some pyramids over there, and I think we're gonna find out more about the ancients in that zone for sure.
Yeah, I don't think that's a stretch at all. It seems like they would tie into one another, especially when you look at kind of some of their armor styles and stuff that they have, and just the way that some of their structures are built and whatever. It would make sense. So maybe you're right. Maybe you're onto something there.
Yeah, so here's the next thing, and I thought this was really interesting. I think we've kind of assumed, or we've, as we've studied the lore for the ancients, it does seem like the guardians aren't what we consider to be the ancients. They're actually just guardians, and they use that term frequently throughout this video of the ancient landmarks or the ancient temples, and we've noticed also as we've had expeditions added to the game that a lot of the expeditions are basically using ancient technology to store away this particular instance. And obviously we have a bunch of ancients guarding those as well. So these guardians that are not the ancients but built by the ancients have this sphere inside of them, and sphere, not spear. I said spear. I meant sphere. This sphere, the design of the sphere is very significant, Bordy. We see these large, massive spheres all over the world of Aeternum. We have now the keys to all of the tuning orbs or spheres are tied to these expeditions and how to get in there. And now we have these spheres mentioned in the Guardians that are inside their chest that basically give them life, Bordy. So what is your take here, man? It's some sort of Illuminati conspiracy. It's just about balls now instead of eyes or whatever the Illuminati go around. So what do you think, dude? Now it's official, dude. Spheres are powering these ancient guardians.
Jeez, dude. Yeah, it is. I think that we've kind of hinted at that before on some of our lore videos we've done on Fridays as well. We've kind of uncovered some of that a little bit, but it is neat to see it referenced again and to see kind of how that works out. The spheres definitely have some sort of significance to power for the ancients, and whatever that technology is, I don't know what the sphere is still. I don't think anybody does. I don't know if it's like a way to harness Azoth. Like, is the sphere a piece of technology that just harnesses the Azoth to bring it more power, and then that's how things are powered? I don't. Still, the sphere is still pretty much a mystery, but we do know that the sphere is like the piece of ancient technology that powers a lot of things throughout Aeternum.
Yeah. So, and that kind of ties in, Bordy. I know you're hinting at it a little bit, but here's something that, and we can move this on up the list here. The birthplace of these guardians seems to be the Lazarus instrumentality, and that name kind of starts to tie in there. This is where these spheres are potentially made. That the ancients used to create these guardians, or just basically resurrect these skeletons that are roaming around the island of Aeternum. And one of the things that they mentioned also, I thought it was interesting. They compared them to the Lost. Like they are not merely brainless or like mindless corpse like the Lost. They're much more dangerous. And then they signified that the difference was these spheres that were powering their existence. So, Bordy, what do you think, dude? This is getting pretty cool. It's tying a lot of these things together, the Lazarus mentality and the Guardians and the purpose of the Guardians. I was kind of, impressed that, or I guess surprised that they used the Ancients second, because I thought this was like, again, one of the more and interesting or lucrative stories in the series of Aeternum. So what do you think about the Lazarus mentality being this birthplace of all these ancient guardians?
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense, man. They reference Scylla. Is it Scylla?
Yeah.
Scylla. I always pronounce her name wrong, but yeah, the first boss in that dungeon. They referenced her in there too, talking about how powerful she was and all that stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. But I think it makes sense, man. I mean, they talk about the Angry Earth, their birthplace being the Garden of Genesis. I think it makes sense to tie the ancients down to a dungeon as well. But there's still so many unknowns with all of this stuff, and I hope that as things go, time goes on, we get to uncover more about them. But we talk about the ancients so much, there's still just a big mystery. We are slowly unraveling some things, and this video helped some, but not as much as I was hoping, to be honest. I was hoping, Red, that they were going to hold this one out until maybe last, and then drop some kind of really good piece of lore on us that we didn't have already, or information we didn't have. I think most of the stuff in this video we've already kind of unearthed or uncovered, but it was just kind of put together in a more compact form. But I was hoping for, I don't know what I was hoping for, man, some sort of big bombshell drop with this video with some ancient lore. But unfortunately, we really didn't get that. We kind of got a lot of what we already knew, but it was interesting. It was a good video. I still very much enjoy the series, but just didn't give me what I wanted, man. I wanted some kind of big reveal.
Yeah, for sure. It was, so we just did a lore episode last Friday that I think was very interesting. In the next part, they mentioned the Shattered Obelisk, and this kind of ties everything together, because the Shattered Obelisk is thought to have been, potentially, and I guess digressing just a tad, the Lazarus instrumentality is thought to be the birthplace of the Guardians, but the ancients, we know now, are these massive four-armed beings. They look like deity from the Egyptian culture or whatever. Their forearms, they always have the sphere and the spear in both arms. I did that in reverse if you're watching the video. But the thing is these beings, these massive giants, are thought to be the ancients. And we kind of, the Shattered Obelisk, and then the lore video that we did on Friday, the Shattered Obelisk wasn't like some sort of ritual. So, they built up these smaller obelisks or towers around the actual, landmark of the Shattered Obelisk. And something terrible happened. And in the lore episode, we explore that this was potentially where the corruption came to Aeternum. So it's very interesting, Bordy, that the ancients, this massive, race of giants and what you would consider to be like heavenly beings or deities or something like that, they caused the corruption, Bordy. So what do you think about, again, the Shattered Obelisk being this, I guess ominous, and it's kind of really is like a big landmark on Aeternum. It's very, picturesque, or it's, one of the main locations in the game. So what do you think about the Shattered Obelisk?
Yeah, it's right in the middle of the map. Well, it's a little weird because they referenced the Shattered Obelisk in that video of the ancients that they just dropped about how it's thought to be the source of all power or something like that. I can't remember the exact terminology they use, but then you're right. Whenever we looked at the lore with the lore pages we uncovered, it talked about the Shattered Obelisk almost being a mistake. They harnessed all this power, and then the power blew up basically, and they couldn't harness it all, and so it caused the obelisk to shatter, and then that's almost what summoned the corruption. So it's like, I don't know, man. There's some things that still just don't add up in my mind right now, Red. I really don't know. There's things that really don't add up for me for the ancients just yet, because it seems like the Shattered Obelisk, I guess it is an incredible source of power still, but I don't think it is the source of power for the ancients now. It's like it was a mistake. And now in the lore that we looked at before, it also talks about how the actual ancients are really no more on Aeternum. Like the corruption basically wiped out the four-armed people, which I thought was weird. So I don't know, man. This confused me even more about the lore with the ancients, dude. I'm so lost still.
Yeah, it's okay, buddy. I think we're gonna learn. I think it's meant to be this way. Because as we move on through potentially maybe the first raid, if they ever add a raid or something big in the storyline, maybe the first expansion, we'll start to learn more and more about the corruption and why it's even on Aeternum and the ancients and all of those things. But again, I was glad that I'm glad that they're doing this series. Me and you both are pretty interested in the lore of New World. And I thought this was a good addition, though, like you said, there's maybe brought in more questions than answers at this point.
Yeah, which seems to be the case every single time, man, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's pretty good because you want to get invested in the lore, but hopefully we'll start getting some answers unraveled here before too long. That would be nice, too.
Yes, for sure. All right, guys. Well, that about does it for this episode. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a quicker one. We didn't get a lot of news or updates here, so we'll truck on through here. and mention our company of the week, which is the Imperium of Solaire.
Yeah, man. So the Imperium of Solaire, yeah, they're an NA region. Their server is Maharavo, which was an NA West server. Their faction is Covenant. We don't get a lot of Covenant factions on here, but Red, I have a prediction. I have a prediction that Covenant is going to be a very popular faction on release just because nobody played it, and now everybody is going to want to play it to try to get it. Yep, I think so. And their focus is PVX, size 51 plus. They are currently recruiting. So it says they are a fanatical, religious, private military that believes Aeternum is a holy place gifted to man. Yo, dude, this sounds like a kind of another RP style company, which I like. They believe that death is fundamental to life and should be worshipped, not alienated. Zealous of a warrior culture that emphasizes the meaning of death, that members of the Imperium pride themselves on their ability to kill. So it says the Imperium runs on 3 simple rules: return the dead to paradise, purge the heretics from their flawed philosophy, and protect the Holy Land. Duty until death. So definitely sounds like more of an RP company if you're interested in that. It says they right now are 70 members strong. So it looks like they're just 30 members away from filling up the company. So if you want to check them out, make sure you click the link below. It'll be in the descriptions everywhere this podcast can be found.
Yeah, I love the RP, guilds getting a backstory is pretty sick. We accidentally ended up on the RP server at beta. I don't know if there's been a lot of talk around the servers potentially staying the same launch, but I don't know, dude. I think we'll probably excuse ourselves maybe from the RP server. What do you think? Because we got made some Covenant unhappy by dancing. We were naked in the churches, and it was not good for the Covenant at that point.
Yeah, we definitely left the server with a bang.
Yeah. So, guys, again, thank you so much to the Imperium of Solaire for creating their representation or their advertisement on New World Fans. We really appreciate that, guys. And special thank you to our Patreons who continue to support that effort to get more companies out there, and for the section of Company of the Weeks on New World Fans, or New World to Go, excuse me, and on New World Fans, really. But we thank you guys for that. All right, Bordy. Well, it's been a short one, but a good one. Dude, we'll see you guys next week on another episode of New World to Go.